In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my ins and outs of 2025. I love this trend because it's a great way to kind of capture some things you want to focus on in the next year and things you kind of just want to leave behind. So, yes, I'm going to be doing a vision board. Yes, I'm going to be doing all the things this year. Last year, I was actually pregnant at this time in the first trimester. And baby, when I say I was struggling, I could barely get any content out in January of 2024. So I kind of started 2024 a little shaky in that regard from like a business slash content slash work perspective, just because I was pregnant and going through the first trimester trenches. But now she is risen and she is here and she is ready to dominate in 2025 and not be pregnant. Okay. So I want to share with you my ins and outs. I actually made an Instagram post about this and I just wanted to elaborate because I shared some really good ones. So let's get into it. So my first in is a simple morning routine. Now, I am not a morning person. I don't know if you know this about me, but I am not one of those productive girlies who wakes up and does this 10-step morning routine, has all the things just perfectly aligned and just kickstarts the day. Now, I have gone through my fair share of morning routines. So, when I first started entrepreneurship, I was doing the Miracle Morning. I read that book and I was applying all the principles of the Miracle Morning. And I can say that 2019 has hands down been the best year of my life. Now, what I did notice when I was doing that morning routine is how tired I would be in the middle of the day. I had this midday crash that I have never had in my entire life because I was waking up between 5 and 6 a.m., going to the gym, working out, praying, meditating, doing all the things that it outlines in the book. And I just realized that that was way too complex of a morning routine for me. So I am going to make a very simple morning routine. And I actually saw a video from a creator, Jazz Turner. She talked about creating 3 different morning routines. She gave credit to another creator who actually came up with this concept. But having 3 different morning routines, one for your lazy day, kind of a day where you're not feeling it. Maybe this is like when you're on your period or you're just going through it, but there's still some type of simple morning routine that can kind of help you kickstart the day, but takes the pressure off of like a really intense morning routine. Then you have your productive day morning routine where you are like really trying to be that girl. You know what I'm saying? You're really on it. You are really trying to like maximize your morning, and that is a different morning routine. And then like your everyday morning routine, something that's easygoing, you can always have to fall back on for your typical day. And so I'm really excited to make 3 different morning routines, but to make them all very, very simple. And I am going to not bite off more than I can chew with a morning routine. Like I want it to be something that I enjoy doing every single morning, something that I really look forward to, but doesn't suck all the life out of me before I can even start working. So simple morning routine is an in for 2025. An out for 2025 is overconsumption. And I'm not really the type of person who sees something online and then just jumps at buying it all of a sudden. But I can say that when I look back on my bank account and I see what I've spent, I'm like, what did I buy? And for me, that is my indicator that I have been consuming way too much. When I say overconsumption, I'm talking about like overspending on frivolous items. And now with things like mini chat and all of these different features where they're great on the business end, if you are on the receiving end and you're using it as a tool to sell your own products or push your own affiliate links, there is just so much ease in being able to just purchase what you see online with TikTok shop and just all of the things. It is very easy to overconsume. I don't even know what I be buying, honestly, but I be buying something because the way my accounts be looking sometimes, I'm like, girl, what did you do? I really want to be way more intentional with the things that I purchase. I want to have a place for everything in my house. I want to take more time to really think about a purchase before I make it. Next thing that is in is wearing more color. As you can see, your girl is trying to embrace the colors of life, okay? I am very much so a neutral person, but I think that when I wear color, I don't know, I just feel like my mood is better. I feel more energized, and that is actually scientific. Like, there are certain moods that colors evoke. I feel like when you find what colors go really well with your skin tone or what colors bring you more energy, it just feels good. I don't know. It's a lot easier to start integrating it into your wardrobe, into your home, into just different parts of your life. So just more color. And out kind of builds on the last out, but doom scrolling. So just scrolling frivolously on my phone. I really want to replace doom scrolling with reading. I want to read for fun, and that is an in that I have as well. Reading for fun, reading novels, not just focusing on so much self-help and personal development and business development books. I want to read really good, juicy novels. So if you have any in mind, please leave them in the comments, because your girl wants to be into reading in 2025. Another in is a health and wellness one, and it is taking my vitamins and supplements daily. I am the type who is always, the intention is always there. Okay. We have the supplements, we have seed, we have multivitamins, we have probably cod liver oils, like all the things. Okay. Your girl has a stash. However, the stash is still there from like months ago. And I find myself on good strides with taking vitamins and supplements, and then I just fall off. So I really want to be more intentional about baking that into my morning routine and being serious about taking my vitamins and supplements, drinking at least like 2 to 3 liters of water a day, like just those small things that have a really big impact on my health and wellness. I want to be very consistent with those things in 2025. Now, an out is processed food. And this has been like this last month and a half, honestly, this last year has not been the best in terms of health and wellness for me, because I was pregnant, and you have different cravings, your energy, or I won't project. I had lots of cravings. My energy was up and down. So like a lot of times I didn't feel like grocery shopping, or I just didn't feel like cooking. And so we would just eat out quite a bit. So this year I'm really committed to not eating a lot of processed foods and just eating more whole foods. And so I'm actually implementing meal planning the entire month at a time. I am the type who would plan our meals week by week, and it just seems like Sundays come way faster than I need them to. And I ended up not meal planning, and we would kind of end up flying by the seat of our pants, and like kind of just cooking whatever and eating whatever. And like just the lack of preparation around cooking and nutrition and wellness has been a trend for 2024, which I am leaving in 2024. So actually another one of my ends is meal planning for the entire month, and actually prepping the food and eating all of it. I waste so much food. We waste a lot in this household in terms of food, because I might meal prep and by the end of the week we don't want to eat it, or I might grocery shop but not feel like cooking it. So I am taking initiative and really planning the whole month of meals out, not grocery shopping for way more than we're actually going to eat. So we're putting systems in place, honey. Okay, another in. This is a huge one for me. Huge. Being early and not rushing. This is going to change my life. I am a chronic procrastinator, and I consider myself a retired procrastinator, but I don't think I'm fully retired. You know, like how you can be retired, but you still dibble and dabble in the thing. That's me. And the thing that I really struggle with is giving myself plenty of time to get somewhere, to do something, to turn something in. So I am very deadline based. I will literally leave the house with No minutes to spare. So if it takes 7 minutes to get somewhere and I have an appointment at noon, I am leaving at 11:53. So if I get stopped by a red light, if there's a little fender bender on my way there, like somebody's in an accident and there's traffic, I have zero time to spare. So I really, really want to stop rushing. I feel so much better when I leave and get somewhere early and am not rushing, driving, kind of driving with a sense of panic or submitting sponsored content right in the nick of time. They're like, we need this by 5 p.m. on December 31st. And I'm like, oh, got it in by 5 p.m. on the dot. I cannot live like this anymore, and I don't want to. So the in is being early and not rushing. The out is procrastinating. So they go hand in hand. I'm just tired of waiting to the last minute to do things. Though things get done, I have realized that procrastination is such a lifestyle, and I think psychologically it is something that procrastinators are hardwired for some reason to wait until the last minute. I don't know if there's some type of fear associated with that, but I am tired of it. And I'm just really excited to go into 2025 with prioritizing things, planning more efficiently, and just planning to be there early. Because I feel like the early bird gets the worms and blessings come to those who are prepared for them. Now, I want to take a beat and talk about my new camera because another in is this new camera that I have, the Nikon Z50 Mark II. I actually got this brand new. Nikon gifted it to me, and y'all, I have been vlogging with this today. I've been playing around with it, and the quality is amazing. Now, y'all know I love Nikon. I'm actually shooting this video with the Nikon ZF, probably my favorite Nikon. I also love the Nikon Z30, which y'all have heard me talk about a gajillion times, which is amazing for vlogging. But I really like this camera, the Z50 Mark II, because it gives me Z30 vibes, but I think it's just a little bit more oomph to it. First of all, I love the grip. It is so easy to hold. It's a little bit better of a grip than the Z30. Very fair price point. I will leave pricing and all that information in the description box. But it's also just very lightweight, portable, a little bit bigger than the Z30. The screen is also bigger, which I love because when I'm vlogging, I like to see as much as possible in the screen. Just very creator friendly. It really reminds me a lot of the Z30. I'm excited to do some thumbnails with this camera. It's very easy to toggle from photo to video mode. Nikon does a phenomenal job at user interface. They make it so easy for you to use, especially for beginners. This is a camera that if you are a beginner or intermediate, it'd be a great starter camera. Even with vlogging on it, I've noticed that the quality is great. I personally think I will be grabbing for this a little bit more than my Z30 just because it's something new. I've been using the Z30 for quite a while. You guys know I love that camera, but I am just so excited to have like a new creator camera that the quality is amazing. So highly recommend you checking out the new Z50 Mark II. I actually got this when I was on my Nikon trip, but I think this will make a great camera to kickstart your New Year's content creation. One of my outs for this year is overthinking content. I am just so done with that. I find that my best content comes when I am just going with the flow and just really enjoying what I'm creating. And when you have a really good camera that captures those moments really well, I feel like it's just easier to not overthink it. So highly recommend checking out the Nikon Z50 Mark II. I will leave all the information in the description. And thank you, Nikon, for giving this to your girl and for partnering with me on this video. Okay, another in is prioritizing friendships. And it is so easy in this life to just kind of let your friendships fall by the wayside because if you are married, if you are a mother, or just if you're busy, if you have a business, if you're just moving and shaking and you are nose deep into whatever your world looks like, it is so easy to just let your friendships slip. And when I say prioritizing friendships, I really don't even just mean friendships that I already have. Like, I want to be open to new friendships. And I know that being in your 20s and 30s, it can be very difficult to cultivate really solid friendships. I'm very blessed to have good friends, but a lot of my really close friends don't live here. So it can feel kind of lonely or just like, I don't know, just lonely. Yeah. So I'm excited to just do more events, host more events, and just open up the door to people who I'm am connected with, but maybe not on a deeper level as to where we are just really hanging out as friends. And so I really want to start being more intentional about cultivating friendships of with existing people that I have in my life already and just opening myself up to new friendships. And out is indecisiveness. Baby, when I tell you, if Cameron is like, babe, which restaurant do you want to go? Well, that's not a good option because he always says he doesn't know either. But if Cameron is like, babe, do you want to sit in this chair or that chair? And I'm like, I don't know, because that chair is closer to the door, but this chair is closer to the heat vent. Like, and I'm just always just indecisive. And that's one of the worst qualities to have, honestly. Not to say that it's bad to rationalize and actually make a sound decision, but it is bad when there are simple decisions that you're constantly stewing over and you can't just make a decision and make it fast. And I feel like with the most successful people, they say yes fast or they say no fast. Like a fast no is better than a slow yes. And I am trying to really abide by that rule. Just decide, Erin, and whatever happens, happens. Now, this doesn't mean that I want to be impulsive in my decision making, but it does mean that I want to speed up my decision making process and become more decisive in that. So a lot of it is just trusting your gut, which I think I'm really good at. But the more you practice being decisive, the more decisive you will be. I'm almost done here. I love this. This is so fun. Okay, so another N is nurturing my newsletter. So you guys know I love Substack. I've been on Substack for about a year and a half now. And I have built a really solid community there. But this year, I really want to nurture that community. I feel like if there's one marketing in and out, it would be to really prioritize newsletters, especially particularly on Substack. I think Substack is going to be that platform that pops and everyone's going to be like, dang it, I should have started it when Erin first told me to, or dang it, I should have started it a year ago when I thought about it. With everything changing on social media, and not to say that things can't change on Substack, but with how fast everything is changing with TikTok and potential ban and with, all of these platforms that they can just change at the drop of a dime. Having a newsletter, the difference is that you have access to those contacts. With Instagram, if something happens to it, there's no way for you to possibly, get back in touch with all of your followers like there is for you if you have a newsletter. So, highly recommend you looking into starting a newsletter or nurturing your email list if you have been pushing that off, because it is so important. And I just love Substack. I love the format of it and the community aspect of it. So definitely going to be doing that. If you are not subscribed to my newsletter, then make sure you subscribe. I'll link it down below. Okay. And then another out is recording something before I've actually enjoyed it in real life. I must enjoy the moment. Okay. And just trying to not always be thinking in terms of content. It's very easy, especially as a content creator, to just do it for the plot, basically, but do it just because it's great and fun. And honestly, Cameron and I probably live our lives more in that way. And then we're like, oh, shoot, we should have recorded that. That would have been great content. And part of that is also our lack of planning and kind of waiting to the last minute to do things. So then by the time the thing is here, we're like, oh, shoot, like we're actually just trying to get it done instead of trying to record ourselves doing it. But on the flip side of that, there are a lot of moments where our natural instinct is to just pull out our phone and record it. So I really want to practice being more mindful, being more present in 2025, especially with having a baby, because I really want to soak those moments up. As much as I want to record them, I want to experience them. So that is an out. And last but not least, a big, big, big in is planning before doing. Like really, really being intentional about planning. We are super excited to be releasing a new top 3 notebook this year. We haven't explained exactly what it is, but just know it's going to be so good. And just taking time every month, every week, every quarter to plan, because realistically, that's going to save so much time in the long run. Not looking at planning as something that's slowing me down, but something that's going to accelerate my action. So, those are my ins and outs for 2025. Let me know if you resonate with any of these down below. Also, please check out the Nikon Z50 Mark II. It's so good for all of your content that I know you're about to be busting out in 2025. You guys, I love you all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. Another year in the books. I love you all. And I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.